Beloved of the Seventh Day Adventist Church, beloved of the Seventh Day Adventist Church, this is a very urgent message called The Sons-in-Law President Part 13. The Sons-in-Law President Part 13. Now here recently, we have seen the fact that in Donald Trump's administration, beloved, Kavanaugh is about to be confirmed on tomorrow, on the Sabbath, Saturday, by the Senate, and how we've seen how Donald Trump says he's going to leave this decision totally up to the Senate. He's not going to get involved in it between Democrats and Republicans. There was an FBI investigation into his sexual misconduct, Kavanaugh's sexual misconduct, with women that he was supposed to have sex with in high school while he was drinking beer, and he was exonerated by the FBI. And this investigation into Feinstein, by Dr. Ford having a letter that was a perjured letter to cover up the real incident behind the story. Well, beloved in the Adventist Church, Kavanaugh went to a Jesuit school. He went to Georgetown Preparatory School and Georgetown Law School, and he's a Catholic, and he went to Catholic school, beloved in the Adventist Church. Now, Catholic priests love to rape little boys. They love to rape women. They're totally into all that foolishness, beloved in the Adventist Church. And he's not supposed to be the priest. He's supposed to be a lawyer in the and a judge in an American system. Now, Sister Washington says in great controversy, the chapter called the French Reformation, toward the end part of the chapter, that the Jesuits climb up to states of powers of authority within Congress and within the court system to control the court system in Congress. We see right now, Kavanaugh has reached the height of his success by reaching up into the power, upper echelons of society in the Supreme Court. Now we see people like Justice Anthony Kennedy, who just retired recently, and we see people like Clarence Thomas, who's been there for a long time. Both of these were avowed Catholics, but they were not as dangerous as the Jesuits. See, the Jesuits, they do a little bait and switch, beloved. They lean from the left while really believing in the right. They say things that seem left-leaning toward the leftist agenda, but they really are a rightist agenda. They really are down for the moral majority of Kenneth Copeland and Benny Hinn and these men, but they act like they're down for the leftist agenda, for abortion and for many other things like that, like leftist ideologies, beloved. And it's so sad because Kavanaugh, he will pass this national sons-in-law. He will make it law when the question comes to the court system and whether it's legal through a constitutional convention in the Congress with the senators of both houses, the House of Representatives and the Senate. They will have a vote pretty soon. The sons-in-law first happens in the South, beloved in the Adventist Church, before it hits the North. And then once it hits the North and the whole country votes on it with the Senate, then it goes to the Supreme Court to see whether it's constitutional. Now, beloved in the Adventist Church, the sons-in-law is not constitutional under the Free Exercise Clause and the separation of church and state. But you see, Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, believes that the separation of church and state is a chiasm, a pestilence of society. He told them when they were trying to separate children at the border from the families that we should obey the powers that be, for they're ordained of God. And then we had a lady back him up, senator, a woman senator, Caucasian lady senator, Sarah Huckabee said, yes, we need to obey the law. So in these last days, beloved, they're going to enforce Sunday legislation upon the masses. That's why Donald Trump is a sons-in-law president. On this sermon called The Sons-in-Law President, Part 13, beloved in the Adventist Church. You see, he's repealing the Johnson Amendment slowly by putting in the hands of Congress to do it. Congress has to act on his executive order to repeal the Johnson Amendment, but they haven't acted yet. He's going to sign into law once they do. Most likely in his next term in 2020, 2024, because he's elected in 2016 after Obama left the office. And then he took away he wants to take away gun rights from the American people because of the school shootings out in Parkland, Florida, and at the mall over in Nevada, when they tried to, when those that man killed all those people, those homosexuals and profligate women and men having fornication with each other over there in Nevada, over at Las Vegas at that mall, for their practicing prostitution, beloved. Then he wants to make Jerusalem Israel's capital through the evangelical agenda to bring on. They believe the second coming of Christ over there, but it's actually the Satan's impersonation of Christ over there in Jerusalem by saying that there's a long expected 1,000 years or millennium over in Jerusalem starting over there. Then he wants to have peace with North Korea. He wants to have peace with the world powers and say, let's bring on a long expected millennium of peace. And so he's in 1 Thessalonians 5:3 says, now when they shall cry peace and safety unto you, sudden destruction cometh upon them as a woman in travail, and they shall not escape. So that's why Donald Trump is the sons of our president part 13. Because he's repealing the Johnson Amendment, he's taking away gun rights, he's bringing on a so-called false time of peace and security. He's endorsing a Jesuit Catholic lawyer and judge to be the Supreme Court justice. Who the Jesuits believe in torture. They torture, and many people do the fires of Smithfield and the Spanish Inquisition, through St. Bartholomew's Massacre. So they believe in torture. That's why when the Democrat lady Dianne Feinstein asked Kavanaugh, does he believe in torture, he gave her a shifty answer. Of course he believes in torture. And the Patriot Act that was passed in the Bush administration is supposed to torture Jesuits, or supposed to torture enemy combatants, or torture terrorists that fight against this country. In the last days, they're going to turn all their strength against Seventh-day Adventist Christians who refuse to keep Sunday holy, who keep the fourth commandment. They're going to be forbidden to buy and sell, and then there's going to be a death decree, and in that death decree they're going to be tortured for their faith. Let me just state it here in the book Maranatha, this book right here, Maranatha, by our sister Ellen G. White, Maranatha, section called Forbidden to Buy and Sell, beloved in the Adventist Church. It says, there is a time coming when commandment keepers can neither buy or sell. Make haste to dig out your buried talents. If God has entrusted you with money, show yourself faithful to your trust. Unwrap your napkin and send your talents to the exchangers, that when Christ shall come, he may receive his own with interest. In the last extremity, before this work shall close, thousands will be cheerfully laid upon the altar. Men and women will feel a blessed privilege to share in the work of preparing souls to stand in the great day of God, and they will give the hundreds as readily as dollars are given now. Beloved, they're going to give to the publishing ministry, the medical missionary work, the Bible work ministry, the self-supporting evangelism ministry, like what I'm doing, beloved, in the Adventist Church, the lay pastor ministry, like what I'm doing. And many souls we won through our literature in this asset because of the money given to this ministry in the last days. Many souls we won through healing the sick and treating them through natural remedies and health consultations, and hydrotherapy treatments and funds from people that want to heal the sick and get the gospel out to them through the printed page and through the preaching ministry of the Adventist Church. Many souls won to the kingdom, beloved. And we need to warn against the union of church and state. The image of the beast, the mark of the beast is coming through the passing on fourth Sunday legislation in these last days. Beloved, be ready. Maranatha. God bless.